So, Travis, hi.
Hi, great to see you
How
again.
are you?
Good, how about you?
I am awesome. So, what you got there, Travis?
This is our new Series 7 Singolo. It's a spruce top guitar that just sounds fabulous, is super clean, and has a new bracing feature that we have, our new cross-lap bracing, which is really extremely tight joints on the bracing so that the top is extremely vibrant. It's kind of as taut as the center of a speaker cone would be, of course, so that as you're playing, it's responsive, despite some of the other materials that have been used, so that all in all, we've been able to make a really clean, good-sounding guitar that's only $150.
Well, $150. Like anybody could own that.
Exactly. Everybody here probably wants to own many guitars, I imagine, right? As you and I both do. And who doesn't want an awesome guitar for $150?
So, what's the feel like? Yeah.
The actual feel of
Could
the guitar?
Could it be really a good feeling neck for $150?
No, say that again. Sorry.
I said, could the neck really feel great for $150?
I don't know if now, since there's no amplification, if you want to play it, but it really does, honestly.
You mentioned the cross-lap bracing. So tell us a little bit more about that and what that does.
As you've seen on a number of other guitars at this price level, a lot of the interiors are kind of forgotten components. You know, they'll have something that looks great on the outside, but once you actually get inside, especially from the builder's perspective or the repair person's perspective, you can see all these locations that really don't allow the guitar to sound as it properly should. And so our goal with this was to keep within that price point to make it absolutely affordable for anybody. A beginner could get this as their first guitar, but as well as somebody who really is a studio musician would not be embarrassed to go in with something like this. And by going into the bracing in specific, making sure that it's all really finely tuned, that it still makes an absolutely great sounding guitar.
And it's so pretty too. Tell us about the design.
So we have a few different models in this series. We have a traditional Singolo, but then we also have a limited edition of this decal as well that is evoking the 1930s parlor guitars that had similar type of filigree. This is before the stencil guitars of the 30s and 40s, so it's kind of a late 20s, early 30s, classy yet gaudy at the same time. Classic gaudy, gotta classy.
Gotta lassie.
So, gotta lassie. Yeah. It's the world's first gotta lassie guitar.
That's awesome. Do you have anything else new this year that we should know about?
Absolutely. Not only the two Singolos that we talked about here from the Series 7 line, but we also have a Dreadnought version. Visually, it looks different than these. Of course, the body shape gives a little more bass, a little more volume, but also it's $150 and is a really well-received guitar so far. So that's another thing we have. And we've been continuing also with some of our other materials, such as torrefied woods. We've been really successful in getting some really good sounds out of a few different body shapes on that as well.
I'm betting that our viewers on Twitch TV don't know what torrefied wood is. Can you give us a little explanation of that?
Absolutely. And if you're just hearing about torrefaction for the first time, you're going to be hearing a lot more about it, not only from us, but from all sorts of other builders as well. This is a process where wood is cooked in a vacuum, so there's no oxygen at all, and every different wood guy has a specific recipe of, this is the right way to do it. But essentially what it does is bake out all of the impurities in the wood itself so that you end up with a really lightweight, vibrant top that is supposed to sound like something from 70, 80 years ago. It's one of the first changes in acoustic guitar recently that is not voodoo whatsoever. It really makes a huge difference.
Wow, interesting. That probably gives you more flexibility with what you can do with that piece of wood.
Absolutely. And the other materials that you can combine with it, you're much more free on that. And also, it's way more resistant to changes in the weather, so you can, play while surfing or whatever. No, actually, I don't recommend that. Please strike that.
Do not play while surfing. Do not do that at home. Well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing this Recording King guitar with us. And has there been anything you've seen at the show here that has just kind of blown your mind?
You know, actually, one of the main things that I've been thinking about here at the show, and this isn't product specific, but in some other things, you know, as you walk around, you see so many different musicians of all stripes, from the very business people to the pro players to people doing straight ahead things, people doing way out things. And just as a fellow musician watching this, when you walk around through here, you just kind of think, these are my people. So I've been blown away by that again.
Yes, it is very varied. Like, if you guys could see what we see, there'll be, like, you know, a guy in a suit next to somebody with pink hair and, you know, somebody in all leather with, like, spikes. So it's totally cool and awesome and varied, and we're people from everywhere. So thank you so much, Travis, for coming on.